The scent of her perfume still lingered on my shirt. That's the first thing I remember. I had kissed her cheek before heading out to work that morning, hugged her like always, and told her I'd pick up dinner on my way home. She smiled, brushed a loose strand of hair behind her ear, and said, "Don't be late, okay? I want us to spend the evening together." By 8 p.m., I realized she hadn't meant it. It began as a gnawing suspicion. For weeks, Emily had seemed different. Her phone stayed face down on the table. Her laughter often drifted from another room, and the easy conversations we used to share had dwindled into distracted nods and short replies. I convinced myself it was stress, overwork, maybe just boredom. But that night, when she ignored my calls and left my texts unanswered for hours, the unease inside me grew unbearable. I wasn't searching for evidence. God knows I didn't want any. But sometimes proof finds you, whether you're ready for it or not. Scrolling through Facebook, I stumbled across a picture posted by a mutual friend. Someone who had no idea what they had revealed. A shot of a fine dining restaurant. Candlelight, wine glasses, romantic ambience. And in the background, as clear as day, was Emily, my wife, leaning forward with a smile I hadn't seen in months, her hand nearly brushing that of the man across from her. Not just any man. Eric, a co-worker. I recognized him instantly. He'd even been to our home once for a company barbecue. My chest tightened. The room seemed to spin. For a few seconds, I couldn't breathe. I could have confronted her right away, called her, demanded answers. But the broken part of me, the part that already knew, decided to wait, to let her betrayal fully reveal itself. Instead of dialing her, I called my lawyer. We'd spoken years earlier when my parents passed, so his number was still saved. My voice trembled as I explained, but he was calm, already thinking ahead. "Do you want to try counseling?" he asked. "No," I said, surprised at myself with how steady I sounded. "I want out. I just don't want a screaming match at home. I want her to see exactly what she lost." By midnight, the divorce papers were ready. The next evening, I parked across the street from that same restaurant. My heart pounded so violently I thought I might crack my ribs. For 20 minutes, I sat there, clutching the envelope in my hand like a weapon. Then I saw them, Emily and Eric, walking inside. She looked stunning, hair curled, red dress flowing, that same perfume trailing behind her. She looked like the woman I had once fallen for. Only tonight, she belonged to someone else. I followed them in. My legs felt heavy, like they weren't mine. The hostess barely looked up when I asked about the couple in red and gray. She pointed me toward the corner, and there she was, smiling, laughing, her hand resting on his arm as though it belonged there. I stopped at their table. Emily's laughter froze. The color drained from her face. "David," she whispered, my name sounding like an accusation. Eric shifted uneasily. Do you two know each other?" I placed the envelope on the table, my voice low and controlled. "Yeah, she's my wife." The restaurant went silent. Emily snatched her hand back from Eric's arm, as if it had burned her. Her eyes widened, desperate. "David, this isn't what it looks like." I laughed, a hollow, bitter sound. "Really? Because it looks exactly like what it is." Eric cleared his throat, starting to rise. "Sit down." I snapped, never breaking eye contact with Emily. He sank back. Her lips trembled. "David, please, can we talk privately?" I slid the envelope closer to her. "There's nothing left to say. Those are divorce papers. Sign them whenever you're done with dinner." She flinched as though the envelope weighed 100 pounds. "Divorce? Just like that? After everything? After years, you're just walking away?" "No," I said quietly. "You walked away. I'm just finishing what you started." Whispers rippled through the restaurant. Heads turned. Emily's face flushed crimson. "David, please." Her voice cracked. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean for this to happen. I love you." I wanted to believe her. God, part of me still did. But love doesn't sneak into candlelit restaurants in red dresses with someone else. "If you love me," I said, my throat tight, "you wouldn't be here." Tears welled in her eyes. She reached for me, but I pulled back. Eric finally spoke. "Look, man, I didn't know." I turned on him so fast he froze. Don't you dare lie to me. You knew she was married. You came into my house, ate my food, shook my hand, and now you sit here with her like none of it mattered. He shrank into his chair. I looked back at Emily. Enjoy your date. I'll send someone for the rest of my things. And I walked out. That night was the loneliest of my life. I checked into a cheap hotel, sat on the bed staring at those divorce papers like they were both my escape and my death sentence. Sleep never came. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her laughing at that table, her hand brushing against his. The image carved itself into me like a scar I'd never erase. In the days that followed, Emily called, texted, even showed up pounding on my hotel door, begging me to let her explain. I never opened it. Her messages swung from apologies to pleas to anger and blame. Watching her unravel didn't change what I had seen with my own eyes. You spend years building a life with someone, sharing secrets, dreams, fears, believing you truly know them. Then in a single moment, you realize they're capable of betraying you in ways you couldn't imagine. The hardest part wasn't losing Emily. It was losing the version of myself that trusted her without question. That man, the one who hugged her in the mornings, who believed her excuses, who trusted her smile, was gone. In his place stood someone colder, harder, but maybe stronger. Weeks later, we met at the lawyer's office to finalize the divorce. Emily looked exhausted, the weight of her choices heavy on her. She tried once more. David, please. I know I messed up, but can we try again? Therapy, counseling, anything. I just don't want to lose you. I studied the face I once thought I'd grow old with. I searched for the woman I had married, but she was gone. You lost me the moment you chose him, I said softly. Her tears fell, but I didn't reach for her. I signed the papers. The day became official. I drove back to that restaurant. I didn't go inside, just parked across the street, staring at the glowing windows. I thought about that night, the silence that followed when I laid those papers down, the shock in her eyes, and for the first time in weeks, I felt peace. Betrayal had burned me down to ashes, but maybe, just maybe, I could rise from them. Because sometimes the strongest thing you could do isn't fight, beg, or scream. It's to walk away.